Could the 2030 World Cup face a massive boycott? Inside football's biggest governance debate.
The FIFA World Cup is more than football. It is one of the largest sporting events on Earth, bringing together nations, cultures, and billions of supporters. But as preparations for the 2030 tournament continue, discussions about governance, scheduling, hosting, and the future direction of international football have generated debate across the football community. Whenever major decisions affect dozens of national associations, an important question naturally follows. Could disagreements ever become serious enough for countries to refuse participation? Today, we'll explore how football governance works, what history tells us about international sporting boycotts, and why cooperation remains essential to the success of the World Cup. For most football nations, qualifying for the FIFA World Cup represents the highest achievement in international competition. National teams spend years preparing for qualification. Players dream of representing their countries on football's biggest stage. Supporters invest enormous passion and emotion into every campaign. The tournament also carries major economic, cultural, and sporting significance for host nations and participating associations. Because so much is involved, decisions surrounding the World Cup often receive global attention long before the opening match. International football is organized through a network of governing bodies. FIFA oversees the global game, while continental confederations and national football associations manage competitions within their respective regions. Major decisions, such as tournament formats, qualification systems, hosting arrangements, and competition regulations, typically involve consultation, planning, and formal approval through established governance processes. Although different organizations may express different opinions, football's administrative system is designed to resolve disagreements through discussion rather than disruption. The word boycott often appears in headlines whenever controversy surrounds major sporting events. However, a boycott is a serious action with significant sporting, political, and financial consequences. Historically, international sporting boycotts have occurred under specific circumstances involving broader geopolitical issues rather than routine football governance debates. It is important to distinguish between public discussion, criticism, and an official decision by a national association to withdraw from a competition. These are very different situations. Understanding that difference helps separate speculation from confirmed events. History shows that major international sporting events sometimes face difficult questions, but every situation is different. We'll examine historical examples of countries withdrawing from or boycotting sporting events, why those decisions were made, and what lessons they offer for the future of the FIFA World Cup. Throughout the history of international sport, there have been occasions when countries chose not to participate in major events. The reasons have varied widely. Some decisions were linked to political disputes. Others involved diplomatic disagreements or broader international events unrelated to football itself. These situations were often unique and shaped by their historical context. Because every case is different, historians and sports organizations generally avoid comparing one situation directly with another. Instead, they examine the specific circumstances that led to each decision. Choosing not to compete in a World Cup would have significant consequences. Players could lose the opportunity to represent their country on football's biggest stage. Supporters would miss the chance to watch their national team compete. National football associations could face financial and sporting challenges. Broadcasting schedules, sponsorship agreements, and tournament planning could also be affected. For these reasons, international football organizations typically encourage dialogue and cooperation whenever disagreements arise. Maintaining participation remains one of the highest priorities for the global football community. Football is played in almost every country in the world. Bringing so many nations together requires communication, compromise, and long-term planning. International meetings allow member associations to discuss tournament formats, scheduling, regulations, and operational matters before important decisions are finalized. Although different opinions are natural, governance processes are designed to resolve disagreements through discussion rather than confrontation. This collaborative approach has helped international football continue growing across generations. History reminds us that international sport is strongest when dialogue continues, even during difficult moments. We'll examine how football's governing bodies can address future challenges, strengthen cooperation, and ensure the 2030 World Cup remains a celebration of the world's game. As football continues to grow across every continent, organizing the FIFA World Cup has become more complex than ever before. Modern tournaments involve dozens of national associations, multiple host nations, global broadcasters, sponsors, security agencies, and billions of supporters. Every major decision, from scheduling to logistics, requires years of planning and international cooperation. Although debates are inevitable in a sport followed by so many people, successful tournaments ultimately depend on collaboration between all stakeholders. That shared responsibility has helped the World Cup remain the world's most celebrated football competition. Football has always been strongest when it brings people together. Players represent their nations with pride. Supporters travel across the world to celebrate the game. Referees, coaches, volunteers, broadcasters, and organizers each contribute to the tournament's success. When challenges arise, international football organizations generally seek solutions through dialogue, formal meetings, and established governance processes. While opinions may differ, cooperation remains essential for protecting the integrity, competitiveness, and global appeal of the World Cup. The road to the 2030 FIFA World Cup will undoubtedly generate discussion, excitement, and new ideas about the future of international football. Supporters will follow qualification campaigns. Nations will prepare for one of sport's greatest stages. Tournament organizers will continue refining operations, technology, and competition management. As always, headlines may spark debate, but official decisions will ultimately depend on established governance processes and collaboration among football's member associations. Whatever challenges emerge, the enduring goal remains the same: to unite the world through football. The FIFA World Cup has always represented more than a tournament. It is a celebration of competition, culture, and international unity. While discussions about governance, scheduling, and tournament organization are a natural part of modern football, they also demonstrate how seriously the global football community values the future of the game. Understanding these processes helps supporters look beyond headlines and appreciate the work that makes the world's biggest sporting event possible. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more original football documentaries every week. Comment below. What do you think is the biggest challenge facing the 2030 World Cup? Player welfare, scheduling, tournament expansion, or international cooperation?